Live it, breathe it, love it. All sports, double coverage.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man, Saucy. What's happening, mate?
Not much, mate. Not much. It's another week in world sport. Unfortunately, the ladies, the Matildas last night couldn't bring home the bacon against the Pommies, unfortunately, and we'll talk about that in a bit later in the show. But big week. We're leading up to AFL finals. It's on the cusp. We've got teams that could qualify for the finals for everywhere. There's a big jigsaw that's happening on the AFL ladder. You got UFC 292 just around the corner, which we'll preview that. It's going to be an absolute belter card. And obviously this weekend, big card show going on, ladies and gentlemen, which Doma and I will be down there on Sunday at Collective, Tracon, sorry, not Collective, but run by Collective. So Tracon, which is held at Melbourne Exhibition Centre, you can get your tickets. Just Google Tracon and you'll find it. And make sure you get down there and support the show, support a worthwhile cause, the biggest and baddest, best and only 2-day show we have ever had here in Australia in regards to trading cards. So definitely get behind it, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be a bumper of a day. But other than that, there's a lot on the cards, Don. There is a lot on the cards.
There's a bit. As you said, footy's coming up to finals. That's almost finishing. Women's World Cup is going to be off the agenda after tonight's show. Obviously, we'll talk about who wins it on Sunday. Premier League started this week that just passed, so we've got to review some of the games. Of course, I've got a surprise in the football topic, soccer. I'm talking about a few other interesting things. We have UFC and we have a whole bunch of stuff coming up in terms of sports that are starting to begin again. We're going to have the basketball starting again very soon with their summer league and all the preseason stuff. The NFL's kicking into gear. That starts next month. So that'll return back onto the show. So a lot is happening. AFL will drop off. NFL and basketball will eventually come back on. But we'll start with the AFL source. And of course, sorry, in Hobby Talk, if you look at the title of this show, we have a mystery guest joining us.
So just stick around.
Stick around. If that doesn't entice you to stay to the end of the show, then I don't know what will. Well, there's a few things that might. All right, let's get into it. Round 20.
PG, please. PG.
No, nothing stupid. I'm not talking about fucking getting nude. Round 22. Collingwood versus Geelong. I tipped against. First time since round 9, 2022, I tipped against the Pies and they won. But I'm not gonna, because I think you're in front by about 8. So I can't do anything. Oh, we're having trouble with YouTube, Saucy.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. We'll see how we go. We'll keep rolling along.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Shut the F up, man. You might have to get another tab up and make sure it's actually running.
No, it's working. It's working.
Oh, that's okay. All right. Yeah, they get the job done by 8 points. Geelong started off pretty quickly, but they got the job done. And what can I say? They looked all right, but they lost a few players in this. Obviously, Dacos didn't play. They lose Darcy Moore to injury. Tagoe came up pretty lame.
They played a lot better in this game, though, Dom, than from the last 2 weeks. You know, their contested ball was up, and they were up and about around the contest, which in end result, allowed them to win the game where they got smashed in the last 2 weeks in the contested ball, and that didn't look too well on the scoreboard where them getting defeated. But it got back to the Collingwood football that we've seen earlier in the year, and look, still confident in their side. You should still be confident. I think Darcy Moore will be back for finals, and should they, for week 1 of finals, they got the extra week, after the season as well, so he'll probably be back. I'm pretty sure it was just, it didn't look, even when he pulled up, it didn't look like you can tell if it's a real bad one. It just looked more, he sort of was like, oh, I've pulled up a little bit sore here. Let's just get it off. And it'll probably be a 2-3 weeker, probably at least a 3 weeker. And he'll probably be back for first week of finals. So not too much to worry about there for the Pies. But yeah, good to get their brand of footy back. And I'll just say honourable mention, Jeremy Cameron put on an absolute show. But I'm sure you've seen the out of bounds. 2 out of bounds. And the second one, I was going, what's going on here? Why is that not out of bounds? He's handballed it next to him.
On the synthetic.
He handballed it and he's next to him and he's clearly out of bounds. That's play on, out of bounds. I don't know what the umpires were looking at. Absolute peanuts. But imagine that decides a game. In the end, that decides the game.
It was in the first row of the grandstand. It was pretty much down the race in the change rooms when he received that handball.
It's ridiculous. I was watching it live. I'm like, what are they doing? It's out of bounds. I'm screaming at the TV.
I was doing the same thing. I was losing it. I'm like, what's happening? Come on. What? I was losing it. The Saturday games, they look pretty good. Geelong are getting a few guys back this week in Hawkins and I think Guthrie. So don't count them out just yet. Saturday, what a game. North Melbourne versus Essendon. I'm not talking about anything in this game but one player, Source. I don't care about my mob, don't care about your mob, because it was a run-of-the-mill game. If you didn't win this, it's an embarrassment by Essendon. Ben Cunnington, it was his farewell game. What a career. What a legend. Obviously, coming back from his illness, he had cancer. He beat that. He got back onto the park. He said, unfortunately, he fell out of love with the game. He found, obviously, there was a lot of other things that became priority after he got sick, like his family and his health. And that's completely understandable, and that is fair enough. So, but he's had a fantastic career at North. I wish him all the best for his future endeavours. Absolute gun of the football club. And it was just beautiful to see the moment where the future of the club, LD Sue, set up the champion of the club for the first goal of the game. And the crowd just lost the plot when Cunnington kicked it.
It was good. It was good that he kicked a couple of sausages on the day as well.
It was good. It's really good. So well done.
It was a close game between your mob and my mob, but we
only came within a kick last game. Last time, D'Ambrosio kicked that mint goal from the boundary, the prick. So
correct. Yes. Not an outstanding performance by my side, and I've seen that twice against you blokes this season. But nonetheless, we got the win in the end. But yeah, I'm not going to say much more about it.
That's it. Swans beat the Suns by 24. Brisbane beat the Crows by 6. Fremantle defeat the Eagles by 101. No one really cares. I'm going to get to one game right at the end. I'm not going to get to it just yet.
Adam Simpson on the way out, apparently.
Hawthorn beat the Dogs by 3 points. The Hawks have been playing some good footy.
Yep.
Yeah, looking pretty good, putting 4 quarters together.
See if they can get another scalp this week. They got it in Melbourne.
Yeah. Good signs for the Hawks fans. The Saints defeat Richmond by 36 and pretty much end their season. Port win by 51 against the Giants. But the big talking point after the Jeremy Cameron debacle, Sauce, and I know you're going to go on an absolute rant here because I know how much you love the AFL goal review system, was the Christian Petrarca kick to potentially win Melbourne the game that was deemed a behind, and Carlton get the chocolates, win this by 4 points. And this is because the evidence came in as inconclusive. It went to the umpire's call. My opinion, it looked like he didn't touch the ball. So do you want to just explain to the AFL that there is technology out there that could improve their review system? Or
It's It's a joke. It is a joke for the amount of money that they invest into the league. I just don't understand why there isn't more high-tech technology that they've come up with to, you know, to fix these issues. I mean, you have a look at the cameras that the camera pictures that they're getting, and they slow it down, and it's all pixelated and everything. Like it just shouldn't be like that. There's technology out there that's good enough. You've got the freaking 50K cameras or whatever it is, and they should get that. They should have that technology on the goal line. I don't give a shit what they say needs to be invested properly. And to that point, I think it's a bit of a farce having it in the league. Like, I mean, they're going to have it there, but it's always going to have inconsistencies, regardless.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you. I don't know. It just hasn't improved. It's got to get a lot better. And the whole umpire's call was just, I don't know. If you, I can't answer that. I'd pretty much just say that every time it goes in, it should be a goal. It should be a goal unless the video can prove otherwise. That's what I think it should be. It doesn't. There shouldn't be an umpire. If the umpire goes, it's like I'm not sure. I think it was a behind. It doesn't matter. It should just be a goal every single time, and you got to prove that it's not a goal in that situation. In my opinion,
it's a good way. It's a good way
because if you touch it, it's a behind. If you touch it, it's a behind. If it flicks someone, it's a behind. Otherwise, it's a goal. If you can't prove it's a behind, it's a goal. That's how it should be. Every single thing that goes in between the middle sticks, if it gets reviewed, is classified as a goal, and you move on from there. If you can prove otherwise, then you change it. If not, it's a goal. That's how you get more goals in the games instead of reviewing every single thing, because I've never seen goal umpires so unsure about every single decision these days. Like, it's unbelievable.
But that's the directive from the AFL,
I know,
for them to review like that. But you're sending it to a system has its flaws anyway. So you're probably going to you could get the wrong call regardless. So the whole system is flawed. The whole system is flawed.
It's true. Anyway, let's get to round 23, Saucy. Let's get our tips. Collingwood, Brisbane at Marvel. Why is this at Marvel?
Marvel, that's bizarre. We're gonna go the Pies.
Yeah, I'm going Pies. I'm back Collingwood. I'm sorry. But I tell you what, the Pies versus Brisbane, Sauce at Marvel. But the Saturday 1:45 p.m. game at the G, Richmond versus North Melbourne.
Is that your only game? It's probably your only game on the G all season.
I think we played Melbourne at the G when they kicked 10 goals in the first quarter to 0.
Yeah, well, I'm going to pick Richmond. Jack Rewalt, farewell game.
And Cochin.
So I think they targeted this one because they knew they'd get the win.
Yeah. I am also going Richmond. Suns versus Blues in Queensland. I think I come back against the Blues.
Suns versus Blues. I'm going to go Blues. They're on an amazing run. Why not? Blue Bags.
I'm going Blues.
Harry McCoy back this week, apparently.
Yeah. GWS Essendon at Giant Stadium. Well, I know who I'm tipping.
GWS.
So am I. Saints versus Cats at Marvel.
This could be an absolute stinker. I'm going to go the Saints. Don't know. Only because it's at Marvel and, Cats.
I'm going Cats. I'm going to keep backing them. Adelaide versus Sydney at Adelaide Oval.
Adelaide.
I'm going Adelaide. Rankin and Rochelle, I think, are coming back into the side this week for the Crows, which are two great ins. Dogs versus West Coast at Marvel. I don't think they're going to lose this week, the Dogs.
Dogs.
Melbourne Hawthorn at the G.
Melbourne.
I'm also going Melbourne. And Fremantle Port Adelaide at Optus.
Port Adelaide.
Ooh,
They need to find some form back.
I'm going.
And I'm telling you, having the easy game against West Coast last week, it does you no good, mate. Does you no good.
They played GWS. Oh no, Fremantle. No, sorry, Fremantle. Yeah, that's a fair point. Not necessarily a team that gets you informed. It's too easy. That's both times they've beaten them by 100 points. Didn't they kick 200 points against them in a round, Fremantle? Or was that Sydney?
I know Sydney.
No, Sydney. That was Sydney. Sorry, Sydney.
Something points.
Yeah, it was freaking stupid. Absolutely ridiculous. All right. Done with the AFL. Just an update, though, on Supercoach, because I've forgotten about the double coverage league. I'll be brutally honest, but I just got up my phone and, you know, I was ranked 500th in the country last week. So I thought, for the round. So I thought to myself, if I scored that well, surely I'm still in our league. Like, and I'm up against Matty Yuga this week in a prelim to make the granny for our league. On the other side of the draw, we got Deville, Big Lukey, and the Oracle is going.
The Oracle.
He won it last year. The Oracle. He's going for the back-to-back.
Hey, there's some big names still left in the comp. Big names.
I've just got my average. I think I've got my average up to 2,200, but I've been scoring like 24, 2,500 the last few weeks. So it's just kept me. I just need a big score this week. I think I have.
Got any trades left?
Yeah. I've got two or one. But I think one of my key guys got injured. There was a premium that got hurt in a game on the weekend, I'm pretty sure. So I got to trade him out. I can't remember who it was. I'll just wait for the ins and outs and then work it out. But yeah, there we go, Sauce. We'll find out who is playing in the granny next week. It could be me versus the Oracle.
Bring it up. You can bring it up.
Or me versus Deville. Or it could be Matty Yuga versus Deville. Or Matty Yuga versus the Oracle. So big round of Supercoach. All right, Sauce. Enough of that. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the Women's World Cup? There's going to be some rants in here. I'm going to go. I know I'm going on some rants. Do you want to start with that, or do you want to easy? Oh, I got another big rant if we cover EPL too.
Oh, go on. Start with
the Women's World Cup. Matildas made us proud. Well, I've got nothing else to say. They're playing off for third on Saturday. If they can get the win there, you know, they finish third. If they finish fourth, doesn't really matter. Like, out of that game, it's the highest finish ever for the Matildas at a World Cup, which is absolutely fantastic. Credit to them. And not for anything, credit to England. Yeah. They played really well, and they deserve to win because they played better for more of the game than what Australia did. But the 3-1 scoreline in the end was not flattering for the Matildas. It was unflattering because it shouldn't have been 3-1. You know, there was a defensive blunder, and because of the defensive blunder, they went 2-1 up, and then Australia had to put their players forward to score, to equalize the game. And because of that, they got caught out and it was 3-1. Or else, let's put it this way, Sam Kerr kicks that volley, she scores, for example, it's a draw. It's gone extra time. I should have probably gone to extra time anyway, because we shouldn't have had that blunder. But it is what it is. That's football. You can't take it back now. You just got to keep moving forward. But great support by everyone. Broke attendance records, viewership records. Saucy was saying
11 million watching on Channel 7.
52% of the country, Saucy was saying.
Yeah.
52%. You take out babies and all that type of stuff. I don't think it counts infants and newborns and stuff. So that's a fair chunk of the population that were watching them yesterday. The support, as I said, has been amazing. The live sites have been fantastic. The way that the country has rallied around the Matildas during this World Cup has been awesome.
It's where it was going off.
Those scenes were unreal. So many more at Fed Square for the Matildas than it was for the Socceroos.
Yep.
All right. Now, in 1 month's time, Source, I want to see how relevant this topic is in 1 month's time. I'm not, hey, by all means, I'm not knocking women's football here. I'm actually trying to promote it. What I'm about to say. In 1 month's time, I want to see how relevant it is. That means you got to start funding this thing. Like, they got to start funding it. Andrew says Socceroos game was at 2 a.m. I couldn't give a flying fuck. Get out there and support it.
Hey, I went to one at 4 a.m. back in when we went to the World Cup in Germany, mate, 2016. I was out there at 4 a.m. down at Burong Ma.
We need to support it, Source. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
Women's
all I'm
football
saying,
needs to be
next
supported.
World Cup, we might have to go do a couple of double coverage live from the Fed Square. We'll just make our own media passes. We'll just say we're media and just rock up there, just start.
We'll just have lemon passes and just walk through.
Yeah, lemon passes.
It was at a perfect time, and Andrew said he went at 2 a.m. for Denmark, which is very good. My second thing, and this is my rant. Andrew is my cousin, by the way. So
yeah. Let him know, Andrew. Let him know.
Fuck you, Andrew.
Oh, get to the point. Get to the point, Razman.
I can't help myself. I can't. Brisbane shit. I can't help myself. My second point is everyone that said that we could win this World Cup without Sam Kerr, Source. Get it out.
That's what they are, right there.
You're actually a lemon if you think we could have won this World Cup without her. Everyone gave her so much shit in the first half. She did nothing. She did this. She did that. We could have won it without her. Mary Fowler this, Caitlin Ford that, and they're great players. Don't get me wrong. But when your best player is getting taken out of the game, mind you, England should have had about freaking 6 yellow cards in the first half.
That was a joke. Well, I will just say that the refereeing in that game was a complete joke. And I will say this for the games, and I've watched. This is the most women's football I have ever watched, Dom. Right? Yeah. Obviously, the World Cup games are on at beautiful times for us here in Australia. So there's no reason to be able to not watch the games. The refereeing standard in this World Cup has been atrocious. And I mean, is it a knock on the fact that, all of the referees are women? Maybe it is. I don't know. Should it be that way? Because I tell you what, some of the refereeing has been terrible.
No, it shouldn't be that way because we had women refereeing in the Men's World Cup. So I don't see what the big. So it was actually a shocking move by FIFA.
Referee has been a woman. That's one thing that I've noticed, and
that's nothing. It's nothing against them. It's nothing against them, but it's a shocking. It's a shocking move by FIFA because they're not the best. They're not the best refs in the world. They're not the best refs. You might have some of them.
They had one of the A-League's most premium refs reffing an Australia Cup game on a random night. Why wasn't he refereeing some of these games? Because I'm telling you, the referees weren't giving cards for the right things. They were, it was just terrible. It was just terrible refereeing. They were allowing way too much, at times to go, and then at times being too touchy for other things. It was just it's
a knock, but it's a half knock. But the knock is more on FIFA because. We're trying to get the best. Well, we want all the best female athletes to play football players to play in the tournament, but you won't get the best referees in the world. So that's all I'm saying. But to anyone that said we could have won this tournament without Sam Kerr, you've never watched women's football in your life, and you don't know anything about football. Just full stop. You got no idea. You genuinely don't. You got a top 3 player in the world and you're just not going to play him, are you? You can win without her. Okay, no worries. Just remember the men's World Cup final, the same as the women's World Cup semi-final. She got taken out of the first half. She didn't do much. That's when other players should have actually been able to flourish because they're double teaming her.
Yeah, they had two on her the whole time.
So that's
And
when
no
they
one,
should have been dominating,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
didn't.
they
All
should.
right, so
They did.
don't give me any excuse to anyone else
It
because they
literally
didn't.
took a wonder goal from
Yeah,
her to
and the same as the
force back
men's, the
into it.
same as the men. She didn't do anything for 45 minutes, or 50. Well, she scored in the 60th minute. She didn't do much until the 60th minute. The same as Mbappe did nothing to the 80th minute because they took him out of the game. But when the best players, the cream always rises to the top. And she equalised. She swung the momentum for Australia, the same as Mbappe almost won the World Cup final for France. That's just the way it is.
And
That's just like saying we could have won it without Mbappe. You guys are absolute idiots.
Two Le Mans at the back that let the ball bounce in the box, which is just rule number 1. You do not do.
Yeah. But anyway,
defending 101, mate.
Yeah, they were fantastic. All right,
England was much better side. England
they
were the better side.
They were, but Australia has been fantastic the whole tournament. I hope this propels women's football to all new heights. I really do, and I wish them all the best. And I hope that some of the young girls that are playing football here at a high level in the women's leagues actually get seen on because they've been playing on an international stage and they get contracts to some big European clubs, so they become even better. So when we get to 2027, we could be like England. England lost their last 2 semi-finals at a World Cup, and we might be playing in a final in 4 years' time and potentially win it.
We lack some quality in other areas in the park, so we need improvement in the squad, and we can get there. We can get there.
So good stuff.
They should be proud of themselves. Everyone's proud of them, and well done.
Very happy. All right, let's move on. EPL source. Results. Man City 3-0 over Burnley. Arsenal 2-1 over Nottingham. Any comments?
Started like a house on fire. Probably should have finished them off, but it was never really uncomfortable. If you know what I mean, it was never really uncomfortable, but it does annoy me that we go up 2-0 and we allow them to get back in, a 2-0 scoreline. It's a dangerous scoreline, Dom. It's a dangerous scoreline. One goal gets them back into the game, and they got back into the game, and we sat back in our shells. And I've seen that a lot, that happened against some of the better sides last season. We did that. We can't do that. We can't do that. We'll see from what I've seen from Havertz. We'll see. Unfortunately, Timber looked the goods, but got injured first game in, so that's great. New signing at left back. Oh, he's done his ACL, has he?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Jeez. There you go. He's out for the season. What?
Yeah, not great.
Not good. Yeah, not good. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. But look, good to get the first one off the ranks. 2-1. We'll take it.
Very nice. Palace defeated Sheffield 1-0. Fulham defeated Everton 1-0. Brighton defeated Luton 4-1. West Ham 1-1 with Bournemouth. Newcastle defeat Aston Villa 5-1. Tonali played so well in this game, man. I'm so happy for him.
Newcastle's going to be good this season.
Brentford get it to a 2-2 draw in Ange's first game at the helm for Tottenham. Liverpool and Chelsea 1-1. And Man United beat Wolves 1-0 source. in one of the most horrific performances I've ever seen Manchester United put together at Old Trafford. It was fucking terrible. It was terrible. And it should have been 1-1.
Hey,
Onana was the best. Onana was the best player on the pitch, but he also almost became the worst player on the pitch by giving away a penalty. It was VAR, should have been a pen. Every single ref in that game got stood down.
I've seen that.
So it was definitely a penalty. So we get away with one, win 1-0. Wolves were so good. We played this shit brand of football. And I think we might struggle a little bit.
You're going to make Champions League. What's your thought process at this stage?
I said we finished 6th. I said that 2 weeks ago. I said we won't make Champions League. That's what I said.
Are you waiting for more signings? Do you need more signings? What's the latest with
Oh,
Harry Maguire? He was gone, but now he's here.
I've been waiting for freaking 6 years for more signings. Until we sell the club, we're not getting anyone that we want. We're just beginning to be signing young guys and paying them $4 gazillion to come play. And then Holland has got a lower back injury and he might not play to mid-September. So he's not playing. So Rashford looked disinterested, Source. When I say disinterested, I mean disinterested.
Was he playing up top?
Yeah, lost the ball. Didn't even attempt to jog for it. Just stood there and just walked. And everyone bagged Ronaldo for doing that when he was at United. He's doing the exact same thing. He looked disinterested. It was very, very poor. Wan-Bissaka, no good. Should have tried to replace him. I still say we should persist with Dallo and keep playing Dallo, but we're not. I don't know why. Martinez got subbed off at the end of the first half. Lindelof, I like Lindelof. Like, he gives us something. Maguire's there. He's not going anywhere. In all honesty, as crazy as it sounds, Source, like Casemiro looks so slow. So slow. I would have preferred to bring Fred off the bench, but we got rid of him to Fenerbahce. So there's no more Alfredo at United.
Sad. That's sad.
I've got to buy Fenerbahce top now. He's gone.
Your favourite player is gone.
I love him. All right, fixtures for this week. Nottingham versus Sheffield, Fulham, Brentford, Liverpool, Bournemouth, Luton and Burnley has been postponed. Wolves, Brighton, Tottenham versus Manchester United. And that game is at 2:30 on Sunday morning. So I'll definitely be tuning into that. Man City, Newcastle, Villa, Everton, West Ham, Chelsea, and Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. And we're not done yet, Source, because the new addition to double coverage in the footballing world, we are covering the Saudi League as of this week, considering it's better than half of the other leagues.
Neymar's gone there, mate. Neymar is there.
Yep.
He's there. Just listen to the players. I was going through some of the players in the league before.
Read it.
Neymar, right? Neymar, Ronaldo, Benzema, N'Golo Kante, Fofana. Who else they got? They got
Milinkovic-Savic.
Milinkovic-Savic, that's right.
Riyad Mahrez.
Sadio
Mane. Bobby Firmino.
I've seen him on the team sheet before.
They picked up Brozovic. Brozovic is playing there.
Yes. Eduardo Mendy in goal.
Mendy. There's more. There's more. I haven't even. I'm still forgetting some of them. Jordan Henderson.
Yes, Hendo. This is.
Saint Maximin.
It's the Chinese Super League all over. Saint Maximin. That was the one I was looking for.
I love this shit. I love it. Alex Telles is playing there too. Malcolm. Even Big Malcolm's playing there.
Yes. Some good big names. I'll tell you what, I reckon the Saudis, they're more organised than the Chinese. I reckon their takeover here has got real merit, Dom. I'm telling you, give it 3-4 seasons, you'll see five quality players that used to play in Europe pretty much on every team.
I'm not saying nothing.
Not all the Saudi clubs have like a lot of money, but there's more guys over there that are going to see this as an opportunity to flex their money. Then they'll buy the team and then they'll start expanding and getting other players over there.
I'm just happy because I get to read out these names every week and I just can't wait. I don't even know who plays for who at the moment, to be honest.
We're going to familiarize ourselves with the teams.
All right. We know where one guy plays, that's for sure. Well, a couple of them. I know, and I'll mention them to you so every week so we know where they're playing so you can tune in and you can watch them. Anyway, the first game, 1-1 draw, Al-Shabaab versus Al-Aqdoud. No one plays there for either team. All right. Then we had Al-Ettifaq 2-1 defeated Al Nassr. We know who plays for Al Nassr. Ronaldo, Mane. I think Tales is there. Talisca, he's there as well. Then we had Abba losing 3-1 to Al Hilal. That is where Neymar just signed. He's at Al Hilal.
Yep.
Then we had Al Raid lose to Al Ittihad 3-0. Benzema kicked an absolute.
Bro, you know what the craziest thing is?
hurler.
Al Hilal was good before all these players went there. They've won the Asian Champions League before.
I know.
So people are acting like you're acting like this league was shit, mate. Some of the teams in there, Al Hilal has won the Asian Champions League, meaning they have been the best club in all of Asia, right? And then you've got them going, these other guys going there, mate. It's unbelievable.
They've got.
If people don't think that this league is going to rise up the ranks, it's 62nd best league apparently in the world according to rankings or whatever rankings are out there. Mate, I'll tell you right now, give it 3 years, it will be top 10 with ease.
I'm not saying anything. I've got my theories. I'll get to them in future shows when we cover this for about 5 weeks. We had Al Fateh versus Al Tawun, and it was a 1-1 draw. Al Riyadh versus Al Wayda, 1-0 winners Al Riyadh. Al Fayha 3-1 defeated Al Khalij. Al Tay defeated Damak 1-0. And Al Ali, which has Mahrez is on Al Ali, I'm pretty sure. Or Bobby Firmino is on that one. I'm not sure. They defeated Al Hazem 3-1. We got to get a list of these, man. We're going to learn them. 10 Play has the games. Saucy and I had a look. 10 Play doesn't have all the games, but it has the key teams. Al Nassr, Al Ittihad, Al Hilal, and who was the other one? Al Ali. They've got their games. Remember when everyone said they wouldn't want to stream them? You want to stream them, mate. When you've got some of the best players in the world playing in your league, you want to watch them play.
Picked up, Doma. And I mentioned to you pre-show that previously I was like, mate, there's nowhere to watch the games. You can't even watch the games on, like, if you've got a Bet365, they stream a lot of football games. So, you put $1 in your account, you can watch the games for free. They don't even stream it. Well, I've noticed, Tom, the other day, game was on live. There it was, streamed. Bang. I was watching the man himself, Mr. Sue Ronaldo. I was watching him live on Bet365, and I had, that you just got to put $2, $1, $5 in your account, and you can watch it, mate. So there are ways, and it's getting picked up more and more. So yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see.
Definitely. Let's get to the games for this week, because that's what we do these days. We cover the future games. We've got Damak versus Al Riyadh, Al Khalij versus Al Ali, Al Aqdud versus Al Fateh. We have Al Hazem versus Al Ittifaq, Al Nassr versus Al Tawan, Al Wayda versus Al Shabab, Abba versus Al Raid, Al Hilal versus Al Fayha, and Al Ittihad versus Al Tay. They are the lineups games tomorrow morning, 2:00. There we go, Source. Saudi League. I brought up this article. I might even share this so we can I'll find an article where it's got the lineups, who's playing where, so you can actually which players have joined the Saudi League. All right. I'll bring this up quickly. We can briefly run through it before UFC. Does that come up?
Yep. Get rid of the ad. I think you've clicked on another ad. You better close that.
All right. So Abba has I don't know who this is. Poland, I don't know. But their biggest name is Felipe Casado, for the Ecuador striker. He's playing for Abba. Al Ali, they signed Sam Maximum, Mahrez, Firmino, Mendy, Alioski. And
Alioski.
Frank Kessie as well from Barca.
Yes.
He's there. Madou Barreau. I'm not sure who that is. Played for Leeds and Swansea. There you go. Some good players there. Al Ettifaq. Obviously, Gerrard is the coach there. They got Jordan Henderson, Jack Hendry. Younes had 8 senior caps for Germany. Forward is Robin Quaison from Sweden. They haven't really got much there besides Gerrard and Henderson. Al Fateh, Slaven Bilic.
Oh,
You know who
yes.
he
The
is?
ex-West Ham coach.
Ex-Barcelona winger Christian Tello.
Yes.
Uh, Fran Velez, former Monaco left back Tristan Dingombe. Not sure who that is. Alfea Vuk Razovic, his former Yugoslavian player. Vladimir Stojkovic, former Serbia international player. Milan Pavkov and Alexander Trejkovski. We know who that is. He scored the goal against Italy to stop him going to the World Cup, but we know who that man is. Al Hazem hasn't really got anyone. Al Halal signed Neymar, Ruben Neves, Koulibaly,
Their
Milinkovic
team's stacked.
Savic,
The team's
Musa
stacked.
Marega, Matthias Pereira, and Andre Carrillo. Al Ittihad has Nuno Espirito Santo, who is the ex-Wolves and Tottenham boss. They signed Benzema, Kante, Jota from Celtic, Marcelo Groh, ex-Brazil keeper, Ahmed Higazi, and Igor Coronado. They also have Fabinho from Liverpool as well, who I forgot also went there. Al Nassr has Ronaldo,
Oh,
Luis.
did you see the video? He played a good game, and after the game, some guy, is walking out to the bus, and some guy comes over. He's like, you played a good game, and he shakes his hand. And when he shakes his hand, he slaps a Rolex watch on him and gave it to him because he played a good game.
What the
Some
hell?
some fan of the team.
Adam says Al Bundy versus who? G'day, Adam. Yeah, Ronaldo, Tellez, Fofana, and yeah, there's a few others, but we'll cover them as the weeks go on anyway. All right, so I'm going to quickly throw to you for UFC. There's a big card, and then we'll get into hobby talk, and we've got a mystery guest.
All right, Doma. We've got a big card coming up this week. I'll preview the card that transpired. But if you don't know, now you know. This
And
segment is sponsored by Roll Clean Soap.
just before the roll clean, ladies and gents, if you're in here, share the live because you don't want to miss the mystery guest. All right, Sauce, back to you.
Roll Clean Soap. Head to www.rollclean.com.au. Use the code double coverage at checkout for 20% off your first order. They are the best in martial arts, BJJ, and just hygiene in general. It smells really good, keeps you fresh. You can use it for your shaving, gents, wherever it be, upstairs, downstairs, doesn't matter, whatever stairs. It keeps it smooth and fresh and smelling amazing. Hit up at Roll Clean Soap on the socials, or once again, head to their website, www.rollclean.com.au. Use the code double coverage at checkout for 20% off your first order. Bang. All right. Doma, UFC card over the weekend. It was fight night, Luque versus Dos Anjos. I'll run through the card. I've seen a few fights as well. You had Josh Frem defeating Jamie Pickett with a third round decision in the middleweight division. You had AJ Dobson defeating Tafon Nukwi, third round decision in the middleweight division. Women's strawweight, you had Yasmin Luchindo defeating Poliana Viana, second round submission. Light heavyweight, Khalil Roundtree knocking out Chris Dalkas. That was a nasty knockout. So big win by Khalil. And then featherweight, you had Cub Swanson defeating Hakeem Dawudu. I feel like Cub Swanson probably got away with one here. Veteran. It was a good fight. It went the distance. I think the judges may have got it wrong. I feel like Hakeem had the better strikes, had the cleaner strikes. You could visually see that, his strikes had a lot more of an effect. And when you go have a look at the strikes statistics, he actually dominated him. So I sort of don't really know where the judges pulled that from, but it is what it is. Cub Swanson gets the winner in the third round. I feel like Hakeem Dawudu was probably hard done by. And then in the main event, you had Vicente Luque defeating Rafael Dos Anjos. This was a battle, went the 5 rounds. Vicente Luque did the more damage over the 5 rounds, so deservedly got the chocolates and took home the win. All right, this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, now you know, UFC 292 is kicking off. Main card kicks off from 12 p.m. Prelim card kicks off from 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You have Chris Weidman back on the card against Brad Tavares. That's in the prelim card. So even the prelim card's got some absolute crackers in it. The main card, you've got Marlon Vera against Pedro Munez in the bantamweight division. You got another fight in the bantamweight, Damon Blackshear against Mario Bautista. In the welterweight, Neil Magny against Ian Gary. This will be a great fight. Ian Gary's 12-0, so let's see if can he keep it going. And then the women's strawweight, you got Wei Li Zhang is in action against Amanda Lemos. That will be a cracking fight. And then the main event, you got Aljamain, the Funk Master, against Sugar Sean O'Malley. Two of my guys, I'm torn, Dom. I've been on that Sugar Sean train for a long time. I was saying, this guy's going to be good. He's going to be good. Watch out for him. He gets his chance against Aljamain. Aljamain thinks, he's never faced a proper grappler, which in my opinion, he hasn't as well. So, look, I'm going to go. I feel like Aljamain submits Sugar Sean. I'm telling you, Aljamain's going to get into the ground and he's going to submit Sugar Sean O'Malley. You heard it here first, double coverage, take. And I feel like Aljamain will get the fight. If he doesn't submit him, I feel like Aljamain will have enough to get the fight. Sean O'Malley has that crazy stand-up game, and he strikes from all angles. He can knock guys out, but I feel like Aljamain's smart enough. He won't allow that to happen. He'll ragdoll to the ground, and I feel like Aljamain just has too much power for him if he gets into the ground. He won't, O'Malley won't be able to get back up until the bell rings. So in that round, unless he gets submitted, and then he won't be getting back up. So I feel like Aljamain's got the advantage, and I'll be backing him. That's for sure. And in the women's co-main event, I will go with Wei Li Zhang to get the victory over Amanda Lemos, and Ian Gary over Neil Magny in the third main fight. That's it, Doma. That's nice. UFC 292. Make sure you tune in this weekend, and let's keep it rolling. And if you're not on the BKFC app, make sure you get on there because, mate, the stuff's free to watch, mate. And you get to watch people punch each other in the face with no gloves on. It's fucking crazy.
Welcome, Adam. Welcome, Maddie. Welcome, James. James says, is the mystery guest card porn? It just might be. He's the best. It's the best thing since card porn. Adam says Sugar's gonna get the Chocky Frogs, I reckon. And before we get to our guest, obviously, Hobby Talk is brought to you by Platinum Standard Grading. Thank you once again to the crew at Platinum Standard Grading. Saucy, I'm throwing it to you. We're going straight into it. This is Hobby Talk. It's the guest. You're doing the intro. You are doing the intro because I know how excited. I'm so excited. I know how excited you are. And you go for it. It's you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a special guest for you all in Hobby Talk. It's none other. He's always in the comments, but we said he's head to the National, and we said, mate, when you come back, we're going to get you on the show. You got to give us a bit of an insight into your experience over in the States with all this absolute mayhem that goes on there with the cards and people buying and selling. It's none other than the card messiah himself, Jay.
Here he is.
How are you, mates?
I'm putting it right here. I'm making it big. Good, mate. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Sorry about the glare on my glasses. I hope you can see okay. I don't know. I can't. It's all flashing and going crazy.
No, it's all good, mate. All good. Thank you so much for coming on. The chat's already loving it. Matty Tape says the Messiah surely. Yep. Mr. Kondo himself bowed down to the Messiah. Here he is.
Can I tell you guys, I had absolutely no energy 20 minutes ago. Like I was actually going to go to bed and ditch this whole thing. And I just thought I thought effort, like whatever. It's the first and last time I'm ever going to do anything like this, so why not?
That's what you think.
No,
You
I'm
think
not.
that's what you think.
Man,
You are going to be a crowd. You know what you're going to be like? It's going to be like Sam's mailbag. Everyone's going to want Messiah's mailbag every single week. They're going to ask for your back. They're going to say, "Stuff these 2 lemons. We want the Messiah."
Hysterical. This is really funny. Okay. So what's going on, boys? How's your week been?
It's been very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good, mate.
You've
As
been,
you know, we all go. Yes.
You've been enjoying the win by Carlton last weekend.
Yeah, you cheat, you grifters.
We're not grifters. What are you talking about? We legitimately won the game. Mate,
that's an actual farce. That's a farce. The score review system. You got to admit that. There's 10K cameras out there, and they can't even spend the money on the proper camera equipment, mate.
Oh, well,
it's a joke.
What can I say?
They can't even get Snicker right. I don't even know what the hell they're doing. They're just full of shit. The AFL. Maddie's happy. The Messiah. Adam says SGC won the world
to the moon. It's all
SGC
about the
ones.
It's all about the ones.
It's all about the ones.
These fucking idiots. But seriously, do you want me to start? Because I'll just look at Johnny's eyes. I'll just go boom, boom. No, I won't.
Don't worry, we'll get to you to lose the plot.
We'll get to that
questions.
in a second. I'm sure you're going to have going around.
The intro is for you, Jay. Obviously, everyone knows who you are, so you don't need to say, "I'm Jay. I live here. I do this."
Like 10 people.
On double coverage. People that listen to the show, they know who you are. They follow you. You're in our group chats. They've spoken with you before. They've met you at card shows. Majority of people know who you are, but a lot of people don't know the story of how you got into the hobby. So that's what I want to ask you. Can you just explain how you found
or do you want the Declaration in Independence 3 hours?
You could the short version.
The short version. We could do that another time. This is what I mean. You're going to be a guest another time, and we can.
Okay, all right, maybe. I don't know. Depending, I'm upping the fee for the next one, boys. So I don't know.
As many SGC ones as you want.
All right. So look, I suppose to answer your question in around March 2020, like when all this COVID stuff sort of happening and the world started to go mad, a friend of mine introduced me to this whole trading card stuff, and subsequently I just started doing a bit of research and et cetera, et cetera. And like some people or most people, I went in a couple of sports card breaks with a company in Melbourne who shall remain nameless, who is probably the worst company on the planet, but it doesn't really matter. So I went in a couple of sports card breaks, basketball breaks.
A shady card breaker. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, I wouldn't have heard one of those before.
But the guy with the folders full of Lucas, I think that's it. Anyway, went in a couple of basketball breaks, had absolutely no effing idea what the hell I was doing. And I didn't really like the way they operated. So I thought, you know what, I'll do this one more time just to check it out. And went in a break with Benji from West Oz Cards. Give Benji a plug, good dude.
Great guy.
And anyway, I got the Dallas Mavericks in a break, and I had no fucking idea who they are. And I ended up pulling this Luka Doncic Revolution basketball autograph card. Okay, cool. Luka Doncic. Who the fuck's a Luka Doncic? Did a bit of research, checked out this whole thing, etc., etc., and found myself on blowout forums. And out of sort of nowhere, I just started looking at the NFL part of the forum. And naturally, at the time, I had no idea about NFL, apart from a couple of the names of the teams, etc. But I stumbled across a thread named Patrick Mahomes prices. And what the hell does this mean? What the hell's Patrick Mahomes? Who the hell's Patrick Mahomes? Got a pretty funky name. And thought, all right, I'll go to YouTube and check out who this guy is. Watched an interview of this gentleman. Was very impressed at what I saw. I thought, you know what, I'll check if this guy can play. So I went and watched about 2 or 3 minutes. I said, this guy looks pretty good. I like the colors. He looks good in red. I'm going to follow the Kansas City Chiefs. They're my team. And I'm going to buy some sports cards with my son for fun. Right? And that's all it ever was at the time. It was purely for fun. Just buy some stuff. and enjoy whatever it was at the time with my son. About 2 months later, my mum passed away from a very rare form of cancer called peritoneal cancer. And it was a pretty traumatic time at that time. So this whole thing has just been just a major distraction since then, right? And it's been good because, it's allowed me to focus on other stuff in life, and all that trauma, like I said, that was difficult. It was just that I was able to wash it away with all this stuff. And naturally, from the beginning of that time, it just progressed to buying more stuff and being actively involved in line and starting an Instagram page and meeting people and making friends and having fun and just enjoying this whole space for what it is. And, that's how it's all perpetuated to what it is now. So, yeah, that was my little journey. And
you talk about making friends, and you have made some good friends in the hobby and people that have shared interests. And then you find, obviously, you might have more interest outside of the initial shared interest. And that's seen you venture over to the States, to the National. And you've made some friends over there twice. Right? And I'm just saying it's an amazing thing what, being into some cards and collecting some cards can do.
It's unbelievable, Johnny. It's unbelievable that, like through these stupid little 5-cent pieces of paper wrapped up in 18-cent pieces of plastic, it allows us to meet people from all over the world and all different backgrounds, cultures, socioeconomic backgrounds.
So what you're telling me, it's not a one of one Mona Lisa? There's only not one.
There's no Mona Lisas in this thing. This is the stupidest thing. I mean, geez, you want me to start now? I mean, fucking rarity, scarcity. This is all bullshit. Every single thing, I don't care what it is, it's all mass produced. There's no scarce. There's no rare. You know what? You don't want to know what rare is? Van Gogh irises. That is rare. Leonardo da Vinci, the Mona Lisa. That is rare. See that painting behind me? Yeah, that's a CED. That's rare. One of them exists. Okay? I don't care about Mickey Mouse, Mickey Schmantle, Mickey Mantle, Rantle, Bantle, all these shit. Fucking PSA 10, 3 of them that exist. Come on, man. This is like...
Griffey, Golden, Grifter. We could go all day.
Listen, this stuff is so stupid. Since I met you guys, I told you from day one. Like, this is just... It's fun. It's cool. Yeah. It's whatever. But, the level and extremities that all of this has gotten to, from what I've seen, at least since like March 2020 to now, things costing as much as homes, Fabergé eggs, priceless artwork, all this sort of stuff is just absolute sheer nonsense. And people have absolutely, quite frankly, lost their mind and will still continue to do so as long as all these idiots out there keep telling people that this shit is fucking investments, okay? And comparing this shit to the Nikkei, the Dow Jones, the Oz Stock Exchange, or all this sort of stuff, right? This is outperforming things that have economy of scale, right? Yeah. On global scales, right? Not cards and not indexes and schmindexes and all this fucking nonsense, right? To try and convince people to buy this junk, right? Because it's going to set them up in life, okay?
Yeah. And Matty Tabe just said the mates I've made will outweigh the cards in the end, 100%.
100%. And you know what? Dan the card man coined one of the best phrases I've heard probably, ever, at least in the last 3 years. And he said the tens are the friendships and the cards we pick up along the way.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very, very important mantra to live by, because at the end of the day, the friendships and the relationships and everything we make and we build, this is all the good stuff, the fun stuff. And this is where all the love is and the enjoyment and the less stress part. All these
100%.
people that are doing this stuff for money and buying and selling and flipping, like, what a stress. I couldn't think of anything worse. Go and get a profession, get a job, go to university, start a business, get a degree. Let's sit there buying Desmond Ridders and Kenny Pickett's and Sammy, what's his name? Foul, whatever his name is. Like,
I don't know who I know who Desmond Ritter is. He's these guys.
It's just absolute sheer stupidity and utter nonsense.
Prospecting on rubbish. But based on those friendships, as Saucy did mention, and you've been to the National twice,
Mm-hmm.
you're the most qualified person in this podcast to tell us what the National's actually like. So
if you be specific, I can probably answer the question better.
in terms of scale, enormity,
Scale enormous. I mean, look,
yeah,
Atlantic City was really big and very confusing, but this time I think it was going to completely different magnitude. To me, it felt like at least 2.5 times bigger, size-wise.
Mhm.
People-wise, I don't know. Hard to tell. But there were 2 days that I just felt that there were at least 50, 60,000 people in one go
Bloody hell.
in this venue. Yeah.
But what about the craziness that, like, what time does, like, the actual show itself shut for the day per each day? 7 o'clock, 6
Good
o'clock?
question. I think it's 6. I think it's 6 p.m. But it's not like going to a sporting event where the sporting event finishes and people just leave and get out of the venue. Once they sort of announce, the show's finished, there's still people milling around, hanging around, people inside, outside. And, eventually when people do leave the venue, that's when all the craziness really starts, because you have all these after events and after parties and these trade nights and people bombarding and infiltrating hotels and setting up like shops, in hotel lobbies, and people bringing portable tables and setting their stuff up, and all of this, like, I just call it crazy stuff. But at the end of the day, I think it's really cool because these people are constantly engaged and enjoying what they're doing, and I think for the most part, having fun. Yeah.
James just asked, he goes, did you stay up till 5 a.m. trading in a hotel lobby?
I definitely wasn't trading because I had nothing to trade. I've never been into that sort of thing. But there were a few nights I was up till 5 o'clock with friends, sitting in certain parts of the hotel and having a drink and pulling out our cards and opening some boxes and bits and pieces and just having a laugh and having fun,
And how was that? Obviously, a lot of people that you've met online since coming into the hobby, you've been able to meet them in person, and obviously building those relationships and getting to know them beyond cards as well. So what's that like, actually being able to see those people for the first time or
Lovely.
catching up?
Lovely. Well, look, some of the people that I caught up with this year that I consider actual, real friends, real world friends, I got to spend time with last year in person. There are some people that I've been close with for the last 3 years, and we speak, once a week or a couple of times a week and all that sort of thing. But as much as like new people that, you communicate with online, some of them seeing first time in person, it's just fucking awesome. It's just smiles and hugs and love and good stuff. And, the complete opposite to some of the nonsense and rubbish that we see online and just some of the shit we see people talking about or whatever. I think that's probably an age thing too. Like, guys like similar to your age, my age, guys in their early 40s, mid 40s, bordering on 50 like myself, right, have a different agenda and, really going to these things just to have fun and enjoy themselves. And, I'll repeat myself, a lot of people, when they see the people that they've met online for the first time, it's just giant hugs and just, it's just fun. It's just, good.
That's awesome. Did you get any pickups while you were there?
I
Did
did.
you buy anything? Can you divulge what you bought? Did you want
Yeah,
to?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you guys know, all of the Patrick Mahomes stuff that I bought in 2020, right? When things started heating up and getting like super crazy and these things become like 5-figure items and all this sort of shit. I had people reach out to me and wanted to buy my stuff, and the numbers that these lunatics threw at me was too good to refuse. And I said, fuck it, it can go. All right. If I can convert a stupid piece of paper that I own for free into a property for my daughter, well, I'm going to do it. So it all went, a whole lot of it. There was one card that I always sort of had a soft spot for, and that was I'll pull it out now if I can find this thing. Can you see that? Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. So So this Pen Pals card that I actually, sorry,
There you go.
better go different. I don't know if it's back to front. So this Pen Pals Mahomes card that I bought, I think around March 2020, I bought that raw on eBay, sent it to be graded, came back whatever it came back, silver label, whatever. That was one of the ones that like I pissed off back then. And, you know, like I said, I always had a soft spot for it. And the gentleman that I sold it to was a friend, Adam Brown from Flawless Gems. He moved it on to someone else. It had changed hands a few times and disappeared. Anyway, I went to see someone at the show who I knew to get a couple of cigarettes, and out of the corner of my eye, I spotted the card. And I recognise it because of the signature, because I think it's probably the best Mahomes signature on that particular card that I've seen. So, anyway, the guy had a price tag on it, and I said, well, you can go and jump in the lake on that. This is what I'll give you. And he said, fine. I got this card back, and happy to do so, but you know, also in hindsight, I said I'd never spend any like money on this stuff again. And when I say money, I mean $1,000 or $2,000 and whatever, and sort of almost smashed the thing over my head and said, "What the fuck are you doing?" But whatever, I don't know. Like, I've got.
You know what? It's the memento of everything. You know, it's like one of the first cards that you had. You've had it's done the round robin. You've let it come back down in price.
Yeah, it's got a good story.
It's your journey.
It
has been it begun your journey in the hobby, and it's done full circle, Jay. So it's actually really nice.
It's really nice, and the funny thing is that like when I went to this guy to, you know, like I said, to go and get these cigarettes, I turned around, and the guy that I originally sold it, his table was about 5 meters from the guy who I bought it from. So I thought that was pretty cool too. You know,
that's awesome.
So yeah, that was the only like paid pickup. What else did I get? Well, you know that I was like helping my friend sell the Darth Mantle cards.
Yeah, Card Killer.
Yeah, I'll just pull a couple of them out just in case the boys haven't seen it. So a friend of mine who's a card artist in New York, Card Killer on Instagram, Rod Christensen, great guy. We're actually doing a collaboration together. He came out with a set that is like a montage of Mickey Mantle, Darth Vader. Okay, So he bought out 200 boxes with, I think it's 111 base cards, 50 like silver, 50 like silver refractor ones, 25 red ones, 10 black ones. I don't have a black one. And then he did 4 1-of-1. So one's a handmade custom art card, one's a printed superfractor, and the other 2 is a collaboration with a dude called Chris, Splendor of Zombies. And that's more like a refractor art card as well. So apart from the 3 that I've got, I was sitting around with some friends again about 3 o'clock in the morning. I had 2 boxes on me, and I said, bugger it, I'm going to open it. And the first one was a base card. And then the second one happened to be like, the light's terrible. Sorry.
You're right.
I can't see that. Oh, there you go. Sort of works. Anyway, most of the
your reaction in that video was so pure. It was actually
well, awesome. I had to, mate. I'm a paid actor. It was a loaded box. I mean, come on, dude.
I know all about those. So
dude, it was as loaded as you can get. I mean, you know, the guy that's how do you think it all works? The guy that's spruiking all this shit gets the product here. Like, do you think that's like a coincidence? Of course not. Like, the box has I'm only joking. Like, the amount of boxes that I had and turned over selling to people and then kept finishing, it just whatever. It was good karma, and it just happened to work out that way.
That's awesome. Highlights on the trip.
Highlights of the trip.
Can I mention a few people and get you jogging?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
If you want. You're gonna have to
LAFC Gooner.
Yeah, well, that was cool. Miles is a great fella, and you know, I sort of had a bit of a bungle with my flight from LA back to Melbourne, so I ended up staying there for another 24 hours. And like, I contacted Miles, who I've sort of been in contact with the last couple of years on and off. And I said, look, I'm in Santa Monica for a day. What are you up to? Blah, blah, blah. He said, look, I'm going to drive down. I'll see you. We went to lunch. We hung out. We went for a drive to Bullpen, which is a big card store there. So that was cool. And, met the owner, which was really fun, lovely guy. And coincidentally, Miles and I in the car were talking about this dude who runs this Instagram account, this South Park cards dude. Anyway, we get there and the guy just happens to be working there, which was really cool. A good coincidence. He's a really nice guy. His name's Zane. I thought he was like a 50-year-old bloke, but he was this fucking 20-year-old kid. So, yeah, that was a bit of fun.
That's awesome. Positive Vibes says spilling beer on the Superfractor messy as Shayway Vlogs is
yeah, that was that was a major faux pas. So look, I'd only been in the country like 48 hours. It didn't have much rest before I actually went to Chicago. So I was still all over the shop and very floaty. And I was walking around with a friend and I went and bought a beer, and it was one of these big fucking American cups. Yeah. So I hadn't really had that much of it. And I walked over the table of this, what's his name? Way Flogs or something. Way Flogs.
I'm going to tag him anyway. So
tag Way Flogs, Shayway Vlogs. No, he's a good kid. He's a lovely boy. So's his partner, Mark. Awesome. Anyway, I was just in my disheveled state. I walked up there and I put my beer on their showcase of hundreds of thousands of dollar Messi and Ronaldo Superfractors, and literally knocked it over into their whole showcase of cards. And there's dudes frantically running around with t-shirts and paper towels and trying to wipe all these cards and whatever. But the funny part of it was as soon as I did it, I just look at the guy and very nonchalantly say to him, well, you got insurance, don't you? Dude, if you're going to have this shit in a fucking cupboard displaying it, surely it's insured. It's not my problem, dude. What's better, me spilling a beer or some lunatic doing a smash and grab?
It's a fair point.
That's hilarious.
Oh, and now you bumped into you bumped into Raul, you bumped into Cage, you met Manny over there as well.
Manny's a good fella. Manny was Manny's a really lovely guy, but he was running around like a chicken without a head, like all of us. So we only got to spend a couple of minutes together, and he had some podcast or something to do.
Yeah.
So he did a runner. I don't know. Who else did you just mention?
Raul.
Oh, he's an awful bloke. That Cage dude, shocking, mate, shocking.
He's been nominated for a Le Mans on this show.
I'm joking. He's not a Le Mans. Can I tell you that guy there is a gorgeous, beautiful human being, and he's lots of fun. And he promotes love. That guy, and. I don't know what people's opinions of him and whatever, history and past and beef he's had with other people and shit. I don't give a fuck. All I care about is how people treat me and the way that I treat them and the mutual respect and understanding. And that's it, And like I was saying, all this other nonsense and all these other idiots, I couldn't give a damn.
Well, I've got a few quick fire things. Saucy's probably got.
I'm trying to. I can't even read the comments.
Do not read the comments because I'll bring up the comments just for you. All right.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just going to go through a few because I've let them roll through. James said, "You are the Messiah, and you're going to lead us to the promised land." All right.
That's pretty funny.
Matty Tabe said the National's big enough for you not to run into Grayson.
No, I did see Grayson. He walked past, but he's very busy, that guy. He's there purely for business and I suppose social purposes as well. And I don't really know that guy, but the times that I have seen him, he's been polite and said hello and whatever. Anyway, whatever.
Matty says, did you see Jeff Wilson and did he look like a lemon?
Well, you don't have to see Jeff Wilson to know the guy's a lemon. But yeah, I did see that dude.
Adam said surely Jeff Wilson was trading wristies out the back for Brock Purdy base rookies.
Listen, man, can I tell you, all of these like people we see online and this and that, man, they're all actors. It's all shtick. It's all bullshit. You know, for the most part in real life, they actually all are decent human beings.
Yeah, they probably
Okay,
would
all
be.
their misdemeanors, misnomers, bad acting, fraud,
Drug
what's that thing?
charges.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know
Nine-figure
anyone
bank
on
accounts.
I don't know anyone on drug charges. I wouldn't have a clue who you're referencing. I've got no idea. But look, man, it's all just this whole fucking thing. This whole thing. It's just act. It's just an act. It's an act. All right. It's an act perpetrated by publishing companies, being Panini, Leaf, and Tops. Right. And that's all they are. They're the publishing companies with licenses. And, you know, they have third-party manufacturers making all this shit. And, you know, you've got to sell this. These companies don't advertise, I don't believe, on television, on radio, or whatever. So they've got to engage all these people and get them to promote all the product. That's social media. Exactly. That's exactly what it's there for. So, you know, they employ all these people just to sell their shit to idiots like us.
Junkies.
There were idiots, but there were idiots who spend $2,000, and there were idiots who were told that, you know, if you buy this thing here, this is the golden goose. You know, this is the thing that's going to give you financial freedom. You know, so completely different level.
I got a couple things before, obviously, we wrap it up. Fractional companies.
What? Oh, those fractional companies. They're the best. I love them.
Was there any of those at the National?
I don't know. I think they've all shut down, but I don't know. I've got a saying about those fractional companies. You give them a heap of money and you get a fraction back. Because that's exactly what a scam. I mean, come on, fractional. I mean, another bullshit thing to prop up the sales of all this stuff and make it look like it's you know, value. I mean, look, see this Patrick Mahomes card? Yeah. I don't know. Someone gave this to me. What is it? A score.
Yeah.
Score Patrick Mahomes. Why can't I like jump online and tell people this thing's worth, I don't know, $4 million? Why isn't this worth $4 million? You get enough idiots to believe it. They're going to believe it, aren't they?
It's true.
You know, that's exactly what it is. There's enough stupid people in the world to believe all of this shit.
Well, we had the biggest test of how stupid people were over the last 3 years, and there was a lot of stupid people. Let me tell you. So,
well, there's a lot of stupid people. There were a lot of intelligent people too. There is
100% there is.
Were very shrewd and did very, very well out of this whole thing by being honest.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you.
There's a lot of people who did very well by being dishonest too, but
100%.
I don't know. I don't know.
You can easily find those people. You just go search for their activity on their social media.
What time is it? I don't even know what the hell I've said in the last half an hour. What
said,
else? Give me something else.
Would you invest the card?
Who?
Would you invest the card with Investicard?
Would I invest? I don't know.
Are you going to Eddie and getting a 35% loan on your Patrick Mahomes auto?
No. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
35% interest loan?
No, this is stupid. Didn't the guy shut down? Actually, there's a really funny video of that Vegas Dave character and that Eddie dude. If you go to the Vegas Dave YouTube page, there's a funny video because that Dave guy, he's actually a very intelligent man.
Yeah.
People put him down and say this, and which is really
he was right. He was right about sports.
Of course he was right, but the writing was on the wall with all of this fucking nonsense, mate. Anyone who understands historical speculative bubbles, right, understands that you can't buy something for $1 and then 2 days later it's $10. It's completely unnatural. It's what's the best word? It's inorganic. That's not real. That's not natural growth, right? Natural growth's buying a fucking property, and in 20 years, that thing is incrementally increasing in value 10% every 3 years, and something you can generate an income from. You know, that's real stuff. not nonsense that's going from 1 to 10 in a couple of days. And the people on the other side of the fence telling people that this is the new normal, and all these phrases that were coined in the last 3 years, new normal, to the moon.
Hodl.
What else?
Hodl.
Schmoddle.
Grifter.
I don't know, no, but we're talking about that. Like we're talking about like the
Lemon. We've called them
Lemon.
here at Double Coverage, and we give plenty of them.
That these people, right, we're using to try and convince people that buying this shit was better than like what you've discussed, like buying shares in big companies that give dividends, like bank shares, mining shares, resource companies, all this other shit. That stuff's not manipulated. Well, maybe in a small way.
Slightly.
But it's not as many. The cards thing is much easier to do because you can have
because
groups,
it's unregulated.
groups,
It's
Discord
unregulated.
groups. You can have that what's his name? Gary D, Gary P, Harry V, or whatever his name is, telling people to buy, kabooms, and it's very easy to do. And like we've discussed, there's that many
100%.
idiots that believe all this shit, right?
Yeah.
That the con can continue to go on. But anyway, sorry, let's keep it positive.
Global asked, did you buy any Connie wrapped G.I. Joe?
What does that mean?
Yeah, BBCE, Basketball Exchange.
Baseball
card exchange.
Authenticate them.
Oh, yeah, the G.I. Joe.
Even though they authenticated the Pokemon box that was G.I.
Don't say G.I. Jane, because then Will Smith will come slap you.
I just on all that shit too, man. All this stuff's lots of fugazi. It's all. There must be script writers for.
What do you reckon? Did Logan Paul actually buy those cards?
I don't know him. I wouldn't have.
No, they had what's his name was there. Who's the bloke?
You know what? To be honest, I think all of this crap, right? It's all shtick. It's made up. There are people behind the scenes, right, that have all these stooges set in place, and they keep the show rolling and rolling and rolling on. And if you think about it, a lot of these Instagram accounts, right, such as the people you're talking about, and who else? The Cardboard account, Lamine James, this one. If none of these accounts actually existed, all this would be is a bunch of fucking nerds buying cards, keeping to themselves, or trading and buying and selling amongst themselves. There wouldn't be this whole massive social media, juggernaut that continues to propel all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we agree. It's one thing that we spoke about, especially with sports card Lemon himself, Mr. Jeff Wilson. People type in sports cards on YouTube. His videos are the first thing you see. And, you find that as a landing page, and in the height of all this crap, he's saying, oh, invest in this guy. He's going to be good coming up in this season. Or invest in this guy, mate.
So can I just, there's a comment here I'm reading by James Mann.
Go on.
I can't see so well.
It says shine. It says shine.
A basketball card a starter kit. Yeah, I saw that, a starter kit, right? Which was a LeBron exquisite. Okay,
RPA,
so I don't know. Is this stuff real, or is it just all paid acting to promote and perpetuate this whole thing?
Well, apparently he's into sports cards now.
And you know what? Listen. If it's legit, good on them. If it's not legit, good on them too. Because without all this stuff, this stuff will all just, I think, not die or fade away. Right?
It drops off massively.
It drops off massively. Exactly.
Yeah. Matty Tape said up here, looking forward to a beer at the Melbourne show, which is the Hobby Hangout, if you're going.
When is it?
We'll get him there.
November.
Yeah, I'll be in Melbourne. I'll go.
Yeah, let's go.
By the way, your is spelled YOU_RE. You are, not your. Just pull him up.
Okay, grammar police. All right, grammar police.
Obviously, I see a few things in the background on your stream. Obviously, you got that piece of artwork, and someone really early on in this interview when it started actually asked, have you picked up any art recently?
Nothing fine.
Okay. Here it is. It was Adam actually bought in.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Hi, Adam. I hope you're well. no, because some of the auctions that I'd usually go to were on while I was away. So there was nothing we'll class as fine art. But there is a painting that I bought from a dude in Kansas City, did a post on Facebook. He had some really, really cool shit painted by a sports artist in the United States called Jesse someone, I can't even remember. But anyway, some dude put up these 4 paintings and he said he's hard up for money and he's got medical issues and blah, 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 blah. So I reached out to him and I said, how can I help? And the guy actually started sending me pictures of him in a fucking hospital, like on IV drips and cancer treatment and all this sort of shit. So I said, listen, I like one of your paintings. I'll buy it. And, I'll buy it because I like it, but I'll buy it to help you out too. So
Yeah.
I've got this really massive Patrick Mahomes painting coming. And
Awesome.
It actually looks, it's so cool. It actually looks like a 2018 Phoenix, like Fireburst card.
Okay.
Which is really cool. Yeah. Which I only sort of like looked at after the fact. But anyway, in answer to your question, Adam, no, definitely nothing crazy. No, nothing fine, nothing expensive, nothing like that for the meantime.
Beautiful. There you go. Do you have any final remarks, Jay? For the hobby, for the people, for the double coverage listeners, for your fans. They're your fans, not ours.
I don't have any fans. What are you
talking? You've got
only fans.
Yeah.
You're the Messiah, mate. They all follow you.
Dude, no one follow. I don't even follow myself.
You are chief shit, as your title says in your
name. Well, it says chief shit stirrer.
No, well, it only comes up as chief shit on this stream, so that's all that matters.
It should say chief shit stirrer. Okay. Final words?
Go for it.
Is that what you asked me?
Yeah.
Final remarks. So I truly believe in any space. It doesn't matter what it is, what hobby, what facet of life or anything you do. If you be kind to people, nice to people, respectful to people, I think you'll always, earn that respect back. And that's what and how you will develop good relationships and good friendships, And look, I suppose I've never really wanted anything from anyone in this space, and no one's really wanted anything from me, right? So my MO has been pretty simple when I've reached out to people or people have reached out to me, just about having fun and being nice and kind and just doing the right thing. And, at the end of the day, I think that's just what it's all about.
Beautiful. Very well said, Jay.
Can I just like final words, if you guys don't mind? I just want to give a couple of shout outs.
Yeah.
Number one, I want to give a shout out to my friend Stephen Loney, who was the first person I met in the hobby in 2020. I met Stephen on an internet forum, and it turned into emails, to phone calls, to a very strong friendship. And I just wanted to shout out Stephen and his new card venture, Cardsmiths. Stephen has been producing trading cards for about a year. He's come out with a history of money set called Currency, which is a very cool concept. Actually has redemptions. I know you guys are supposed to get some. We'll work it out. Stephen's doing some cool shit with licenses. He's done a Street Fighter set, Bob Ross set, all sorts of stuff. And he has used his knowledge from being in the toy industry for 30 years and applied that to trading cards. And he's done that super successfully. So just wanted to shout out Stephen and his company, and also my friends who hosted me while I was in New York, stayed at their lovely place in Manhattan, just the team at Pinance Collection, Pienance, Pinance Collection on Instagram. Very cool people. And last but not least, fuck it. No one else is important.
That's it.
Thanks.
Whoever happens to, if anyone actually does watch this, except for the 7 people that ever watch your show.
Thanks for the insult, you prick.
I was actually, there's exaggeration. It's probably more close to 5. But if anyone actually does watch this show, yeah, go and fuck yourself.
No. I thought you were going to say something really nice there.
No, I was
It's really
what I
nice,
was
and
gonna say
you pulled
is-
that out.
No,
Thanks.
the people that I actually do know and that know me, I just want to say I love you all very much. You're awesome people. You've made the hobby experience super fun, super entertaining, super distracting from everything that I mentioned in the first part of this. And may our continued friendships continue to flourish and blossom and grow, and and then hopefully next year the three of us will go to Cleveland and
That'd be nice.
maybe grab another
Triple coverage. Bit of triple coverage.
triple coverage contingent, and we can have some fun and run a
Positive says, ruin the hobby I love.
ruin the hobby I love with my bullshit.
I love it. Thank you, Jay. Thanks for
You're
joining
welcome.
us. All right. Feel
You're more
free to
than welcome,
stay
guys.
just in the green room for 2 seconds. We are going to wrap up the show. All right. Once we finish up, and I'm going to sign it off. All right. We love you dearly. All right. And you are honestly.
Oh, one second. So see this PSA 1? Yeah. You guys have seen this thing, yeah? PSA 1. I don't know how much this thing would cost. I've got no idea. But a PSA 10 of this costs like $4,000 US dollars. 4,000. Yeah? Dude, this shit's exactly the fucking same. Okay? Right? This is what I'm going to leave it with the final words. This is what people
it's
it's
got a Mike Baker sticker of authentic piece of
Absolutely.
shit on it. So.
Well, what it means, Mike's a good guy, by the way. What it means is this is the best one that exists. I mean, it's the only one, so I don't know. You work that out, but
yeah. Well,
whatever.
I was going to say, how's anyone?
Guys, don't spend $4,000 on trading
card
cards.
enough to get it to a 1.
Jay, just from us to you. All right. We met you very early, late 2020, early 21, I think, or mid 21. We love you dearly. All right. You're one of our good friends. All right. We do catch up a lot outside of this podcast and interviews and you traveling and us doing whatever. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate your time. I know that you were not reluctant, but you and on doing this, but you did want to share, obviously, your experience at the National with the people that do listen to this show.
Mm-hmm.
And we do appreciate that. So from us, thank you. And hopefully one day in the future, you might want to come on again. I'm not saying you have to.
Nah,
but you're always welcome. All right.
Thank you so kindly.
Okay.
Much appreciated.
On that note, I'm Dom with Sauce and the Card Messiah, aka Chief Shit. keep living, loving, and breathing sport. It's double coverage. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We love you too, and peace.
Peace out.
Go to Try Collective on Sundays.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double cup.